80% of that list is already in Enterprise, because I checked it, but I just added them quickly. I wanted to go back in and kind of organize them a little bit. But okay. I think it's going to take us a little longer to identify. I mean, I could probably give you 2 that aren't in Enterprise off the top of my head, and then we could do it that way. And then, Kurt, do you mind recording this so we can refer back to it as well?
The recorder's already running.
Oh, you rock. Thank you.
All right. So please tell me what those inspections are.
I would just, at this point, do, I think there's a citizen, let's see, citizen complaint. Can you pull up that spreadsheet, Kurt, so I can be exact with the name?
Sure. Here we are. Let me take the screen back. It's going to be tricky. We'll have to go back and forth between the 2 of us.
Sorry, I just need to grab 2 off of there.
Okay,
so
sure.
Let's do, how about, can you scroll down?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. Let's do, okay, I got it. Let's do BLD final water heater. And then we'll do BLD pool pre-site. All right.
Okay, so we have final water heater ready on here.
Okay, good. Okay, so how about pool pre-site? Do we have, sorry.
So no, I mean, I just wanted to show you exactly what needs to be on here. So for example, for this one, you put the name in here, you put the description. So it's BLD final water heater, BLD final water heater. That's, we're just gonna use as the description for the time being.
Wait, I'm sorry, Jason, how did you get to where you are right now?
Okay, so you go into, on the top, you type in inspection type.
Okay, perfect.
And it'll come up to this inspection type setup. So you put the name in here, you put the description. The inspection type group is, these are the inspection type groups, and these are how you break down exactly who will be inspecting this this inspection. So if it's an electrical inspection, you could tie all of your users to just electrical inspections, or just to engineering or fire, and that way when they have the ability to be changed to this inspection. That's a list of inspections that they'll have. So depending on what user has what group they're tied to, they will be able to do those inspections. So I tied it to building. The department, this one I don't know. I would maybe choose building and safety, plumbing, and mechanical. Correct or incorrect for that?
No, that makes sense. Can I ask you, does that also categorize them together? Like, so if I did all the plumbing under plumbing and I did all the electrical under electrical, in the case workflow, does that categorize them that way, or does it not?
Are you saying from the department or from the inspection type group? Let's make sure.
Inspection type.
The inspection type group, yes, that would be different categories and different inspecting groups. So imagine, do only your inspectors who do building inspections, can people cross over that do plumbing and electrical?
Yes.
And concrete? So if they can do it all, then I would just leave it in building.
Perfect. Okay, that's what I wanted to verify. So then the department can just be building and safety. We don't necessarily have to narrow it down to electrical, plumbing, mechanical, or anything, right?
Well, this department is based upon, this department comes from the other departments of for the reviewers. It's just an additional thing. So I'm just putting it as.
Okay,
no,
I get it.
It doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't affect it one way or the other. Okay.
No, the default status is how it comes in to the system. We left it as requested permit. You can put it as scheduled permit. It'll just be the default status of the inspection, how you want to do that. So I left it as default status requested permit, since until it's not going to be scheduled until you guys assign it to be scheduled. That's what I said.
Okay.
The prefix, you can put a prefix in front of this, but we already have that as BLD, so that's already taken care of. The IVR number, this is where you can put your IVR number in for this. So what was the IVR number you gave for this final water heater?
let me look that up.
I don't. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. I have to find it real quick. Final. Sorry, I don't see it.
I think it's towards the bottom, Kurt.
Okay. Oh, there it is. 420.
Okay. And so it's schedule inspection as date only. You can do time, no preference, date, AM, PM. This we just selected date only. You can have estimated, minutes and factor for that. You can have, how long it would take to complete. These are the custom fields. We're not touching those, so you can have custom fields per your inspection. So the people who are actually out there doing the inspection could have custom fields to fill out. But we have this. I don't believe you want your inspectors going through and having checklists or having multiple inspect.
That's correct. We don't. Did we lose Jason?
Sounds like we might have lost him.
I think so.
Oh no. Let's see if he comes. Give him a minute to come back. While we wait for him to come back, let me take the screen back real quick. Are we close? Hopefully he's nearly got the information we need.
I'm back.
Oh, there he's back. Okay, go ahead and take the screen back, Jason. Sorry.
Sorry about that. The Forta client, the VPN crashed. Okay. So we're not using custom fields for all the inspections. I think that's where I left off.
Yeah, that's correct. We are not.
And we're not having multiple checklist items. And so what we did, we just added one checklist item, which was just a yes and no, that it met everything, that it's approved or not approved. That's all we added to it. So it's
correct.
A very
and they, by adding that they still have the ability to add comments in that field, right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
That's perfect.
So I'm just going to save that inspection. And for Chandra's group as well as Merit's group, their inspection type groups for Merit's group would be fire. For Chandra's group, I think it could either be engineering or planning and zoning, depending on how you want to see your inspections come through, what departments.
Yeah, engineering may be the better one.
Okay. Now, adding the inspections to the workflow is a little bit more tricky. So you have to create these workflow actions. So I just typed in workflow action up there. And for this, I'm just going to hit new, and I'm going to type in BLD water. It was just water heater inspection, correct? Or water heater install? Is that what it was, Emery?
It's final water heater.
Final water heater.
Final water heater. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you type in final water heater here. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to put inspection. Here, and then put that as the description. You choose your action type, and here you're going to choose the inspection. Complete type, it says automatic, both, or manual. This is how you would make sure that the action gets completed in the workflow. And we're going to choose both, so you can do it manually or automatically after it gets passed. I'm going to say passed. failed. Reinspection required. And then you have to go from here and choose your inspection. So, final water heater is right here. So I'm just going to hit save. Once the workflow action is completed, you can go into your workflow.
By doing this, you just added it to the workflow, correct?
No, I just created the ability to add it to the workflow, unfortunately.
Got it. That's what I was trying. Okay, so now you'll go in and select what permit type we want that added to.
Correct. So I'm just going to show you where you would tell what workflow template it's associated with. So I'm just going to go to the permit type. And so what workflow would this go to?
That would go with PEM permit.
Okay, so PEM, let's look at PEM OTC. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look and see. All right, that workflow is called PEM combo permit OTC. That's what that workflow template is called.
Okay.
So I'm going to look at that workflow, PEM combo permit OTC right here. This is the workflow itself, and right here is where you click add action, which is the workflow action we just created. And so I just want to scroll through here, make sure we have it all. And since it's a final inspection, it would go with the final inspections instead of just the regular one as well. Since we already have it, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, so that list that you have that you're showing, all of those inspection types are in this type, this permit, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I want to understand. Thank you.
So if you were to add any inspection, you just hit add action. And you would search it this way. So whoever initially created it didn't do it the way I did it, but I did it like that just to be a little bit more identify exactly what type of action it is. So it's an inspection. It's called building final water heater. You hit the select button, and it goes right here. And currently it's at the bottom of the list, but if I hit save, it's going to go right to the top. Since each one of these has a priority order and a sort order. The priority order means it cannot be, so if you put a 1 there, it would mean that that one needed to be completed to move on to the final approval, no matter what happens.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Currently, none of these have any priority. All these have no priority on all of them. And then the sort order is where it gets sorted. But if I were to put a 1 and a 5, it would go to the bottom because it looks at the priority number first. So right now all these are 0, so it would go above that 1. So if I were to put 1, that's it, wrong one. So if I would put a 1 and a 5 here, it's gonna stay exactly where it is.
Okay, but we don't have, we only have like a fire. You've already flagged the ones that are priority.
Mm-hmm.
So we would just always keep it 0 and leave the sort order the way it is, right?
Correct. So that one just immediately goes right to the bottom. And so what you would want to do is make sure if you wanted one in between, so you just, maybe choose 112 if you want to put it in between final fire line and final fire monitoring system. That's how you would make sure.
Okay, I get it.
In between. So.
And that's the sort order only. And then, so if I wanted to put it in between, like you said, I would number the sort order in between those 2 numbers.
Correct.
Okay.
But always look at the priority number first, since priority number, if they more than likely, if the sort order is 115 and 120, the priority numbers are exactly the same above and below for each one of them. They might have a 1, they might have a 2, or a 0.
Right. All right. That makes sense. Thank you.
So I just want to make sure does everyone understand that? So I'm sorry. I went over the 30-minute mark there, Kurt. I apologize.
No. That's we appreciate it. We'd like to maybe hold you for another 10 minutes for something else if you can, since we're into another 15-minute block. All right.
That's fine, or I could work on things for another 10 minutes within the system as well. So
very
whatever,
good.
however you.
That's a great observation, right? Your time with the city doesn't necessarily have to be in this meeting, right?
Correct.
Great. So I'm going to stop the recording.